As someone who started his fitness journey looking something like this, I think it's safe to say I made some progress. So in this video I will explain everything you need to know in order to get jacked. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. There are 3 key aspects to getting jacked. Number 1 is training, number 2 is nutrition, and number 3 is recovery. So let's start with training. Pick a training split. It doesn't matter if it's push-pull legs, a bro split, upper lower, whatever you like, and stick with it. Just make sure you train each muscle at least 2 times a week. If you're a beginner, make sure you do compounds first, which means a squat, a bench, deadlift, pull-up, or other multi-joint movements. These will build the most muscle if you're a beginner. If you're an advanced lifter, train your lacking muscle groups first. So if you have a muscle group that you feel insecure about or that's behind, you can train that first and it will grow the most because you put the most energy into it. Okay, so now you walk into the gym. The first thing you do is warm up. I will do some light cardio first, like walking or cycling. Then move on to some light stretching. Make sure it's a dynamic stretching and not static stretching, because static stretching relaxes your muscles and makes you weaker, while dynamic stretching primes your muscles for your workout and makes you stronger. Then before you do your working sets on each exercise, do a warm-up set with 50 and one with 75% of the weight you were gonna use. Then move on to your working sets, and during these working sets, make sure you train really hard, because your muscles don't want to grow, so you will really need to force them. And training hard doesn't mean having shitty form. Bring the weight up without cheating and then let it go down slowly. I would say for about 2 to 3 seconds. If you drop the weight instead of letting it go down slowly, you are leaving a ton of gains on the table, because there's a lot of tension on this part of the movement as well. Something else that is really important is called progressive overload. This is the principle of gradually increasing the weight on each exercise. I like to structure it like this. Let's say, for example, that I want to do 6 to 12 reps on an exercise. I up the weight until I can do 6 reps. Then I keep doing that weight until I can do 12 reps. Then I increase the weight until I can do 6 reps again, and I keep working with the weight and repeat. This does require you to track every workout you do. So next week you can come back and look how much weight you did for how many reps and try to improve it. Okay, let's move on to nutrition. This is something that people tend to be confused about, because every influencer is saying something different. Let me tell you what is actually important and what you should focus on. In every food there is calories. These calories just stand for how much energy is in that food. If you eat more energy than you need, you will gain weight. If you eat less energy than you need, you will lose weight. If you eat just enough energy, you will stay at the same weight. First of all, calculate your maintenance calories. There are plenty of free calculators online, so use one of these. Okay, when you found your maintenance calories, subtract 300. This is how many calories you want to eat if you want to lose weight. Add 300 to your maintenance, and this is what you should eat if you want to gain weight. It's simple as that. Download an app like Food by Virtual Gym or MyFitnessPal or CalAI. These apps will allow you to track your food and you can see how many calories you eat in a day. Then there are also carbs, protein and fat. I would only worry about protein for now. Try to get in about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And if you're trying to lose weight, take your goal weight. So for example, if you want to go from 200 to 180 pounds, you should take 180 grams of protein, not 200. So how are you going to do this? Well, prioritize non-processed single ingredient foods. So anything that nature made. Here are some great sources of protein. Here are some healthy sources of carbs and fats. And your diet is basically all sorted. Make sure you drink enough. I would recommend about 3.5 liters, but it's totally dependent on how much you weigh and what your body composition is. But 3.5 liters is a realistic goal for most people. This will help you train harder and prevent muscle cramps during training. Also, it's good for your brain function, for your kidneys, etc. So just drink your water and stay hydrated. For supplements, you don't need them, but if you want to maximize your gains, I would recommend taking creatine monohydrate. Moving on to recovery, when your workout is done, make sure you dress warm. This will keep the blood in your muscles and will help them recover faster. Also, you will want to sleep for 7 to 9 hours per night. It's unique for every person, but 8 hours is generally a great goal. This is when your body recovers your muscles and when your muscles grow. Also, this is when you process your memories, when your central nervous system recovers. So it's really important to get enough sleep. If it's hard to fall asleep, try to dim your lights in the evening, put down your phone 1 hour before bed and put on some red LED lights. These will all stimulate the production of melatonin. This is the hormone that makes you feel sleepy at night. Another tip is to have a consistent bedtime and wake up time. If you have this in place, you will sleep way better. Also, try to reduce stress. This is often overlooked, but stress at work can be killing your gains. Stress creates the hormone that's called cortisol. Cortisol is literally the opposite of melatonin, which means that if you have too much stress, you won't really get tired at night. So try to do some meditation, reading, try to do something that relaxes you, and maybe even look for another job if your boss is a dick. And this is literally all you need to know to look something like me. Let me know what video you want to see next, and I will see you in the next one.